working on this back piece. It was a mess. They'd welded a saw blade in here. It was all full of foam, and you can see the foam here. I don't know what they were trying to do. Looks like it's got one plate here, another plate here that's fairly good on top of it. Here's the line for the window. So this had a big back window in it, but it's just a mess. Nothing was done right at all. So I'm going to try to see if I can get this top plate here with all the Bondo on it off, and just see what I got here. This is pretty solid here, but it's got this piece there's 3 layers of tin on here. So not good. I don't know what I'll find when I get down into here, but I think my best bet's just try to get all this junk out of here, get down to halfway decent metal, and just cut me a couple pieces or something to fill this big hole. Not very good. So that's what I'm doing, just trying to get this open. Looks like I get all the Bondo off of this here and see how far down this plate goes. I can heat it with a torch, and the Bondo comes off pretty easy, but it needs to have a good plate in here. I was just trying to fix it up so it looked a little better, but as I started taking it apart, of course, you can see what we got. And I'm looking over here at this edge, and I think my best bet's just try to cut this whole thing out of here, or at least cut it to good metal, and then try to shape the piece to fit it. I can see it's caved in quite a bit here. I have to put another 1/2 inch of Bondo to straighten that out. Don't really want to do it. We'll just take it out, see what it does look like. Add 3-4 layers of junk and trash in here. Didn't even use a good metal, old rusty metal. Looks like they tried to put some metal in and then just kept piling more stuff on top of it. So it looks like this whole back piece here, you know, if that's the way they did it, and it looked like hell from the inside too. And they put a layer, and then they foam it, and then they weld some more crap on it, and then they eventually tried to Bondo it. No, they didn't even really weld the stuff together and try to Bondo it together. So anyway, you know what? I wish I had another Volkswagen big window. I'd put a big window in it. I'll have to look online and see what I can find, but he's all going to have to come out of there. That's not any way to have it done. I mean, I could invent a square window of my own, and I'd be better off than trying to use this thing. But it's all pretty much chewed up, and I'm just going to take it all out. I can cut it right here in the old window channel. You know, I kind of got into the other metal. This would all be welded up though, any place that I messed it up. And then I can see what's going on here. I just need to take this all out. Trying to go in here and patch this up and make it right. It's always going to look terrible from the inside, because you can see just piled. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of metal in there. It wouldn't be so bad if they would have even used good metal. I may be able to use this small window. I'll have to cut all the stuff out and away from it. That it may be good. Once I get it apart, then I can straighten it out so it'll take a flat glass. And I'll probably cut it in the middle. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this whole piece out of here. Try and take it apart where I could save it. It took a long time. If I would have just cut it all out, I'd have been way ahead of the game. Anyway, that's what we got. Pretty good idea of what I'm dealing with. It looks like they had a piece of the small window out of another Volkswagen, and they just laid it up in here and tried to put a bunch of junk on it. Here's the pieces I got out of it. They were just all piled in there, but at least now I can kind of see what they did. I cut into the old Volkswagen piece a little bit, but that's not that big a deal. I've got this one cut off. It's going to look about the same, and I don't know whether I can save this old Volkswagen piece here with that little window in it, or whether I should even try, or whether I should, I just don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to cut it out and see how bad it's been butchered up. If it's not butchered up too bad, I can probably get a little Volkswagen window and rubber and stuff and put in there. I'm not sure. It looks like it doesn't look like it's real straight. For a flat glass, it might be, but I can't believe they did this, you know. I really just can't believe it. They just really junk this thing together. Anyway, I'll continue cutting. I've got this one pretty much cut out, and now I see what's happening over here. I can try to cut here and get this patch that they put on this side out. Bad stuff in my life, but nothing quite as bad as this. Just terrible. The metal they put in it is just old and rusty. Two or three layers of junk. Tried to, looks like the Volkswagen they took this window out of is just almost completely gone. Man, never seen nothing this bad before. But it's coming out. I'll try to keep peeling it. It looks like there's probably some pretty good metal up in here around the window. This bottom is all gone. And the channel on this, the main Volkswagen, is not bad for the most part. At least I've got some good metal that I can work with. I'm just gonna cut this thing straight across here. I don't know what they used for a centerpiece. It don't look like it was done very well, but that's probably my best bet. And I can probably cut some of this loose. Maybe I can get that window and all this junk out of here in one piece. We'll see. Looks like this this piece here is really not too bad. But that was a mess I could see from the inside. And this is really just yeah, it's way too rusty to try to salvage anything. And it's all been chopped up and burn up with a high amp arc welder. I don't think there's any use in trying to save any of this. And I got a nice big hole in the car now. The roof. Looks like they overlapped at 6 inches. But the window channel is pretty good. It's got some rust right in here in the bottom. And I've got a lot of your old welds and stuff to clean out of here. The original Volkswagen had some rust in it right here. I patched the other side. I'm going to go ahead and try to clean all this up and see what it looks like. Blow all this dirt and crap out of here. But at least it looks like it's at the point where I can seal it. I kind of like the look to these bars here showing through the window. You definitely have room for looking now. See how the back plenty good. Looks like they just use foam up in under the Corvette cross member. And they must have used $100 worth of foam in this thing. Well, at least I know what I got. Let me clean all this up and see what I got, and we'll look at it again in a minute. Cleaned up. I got one place here I need to weld where I cut into it. Hole up here. This side's pretty good. I still got a little bit of their old heavy weld to take off. Of course, I have to patch this rust hole here. A couple little holes, but basically the window channel ain't too bad. It's a awfully big hole. I know from the front window that it's really expensive to try to find a piece of plexiglass that big. So I'm gonna see what I can do. Probably what I'll do is just cover this part with sheet metal and put a window like from here to put a much smaller window in it. But with the window out now, I can get in here and clean up all the rest of this mess and seal it, get all the dirt out of it, get it, trying to get it to look like a Corvette again. At least I got room to do it, and I know the big Volkswagen window won't work. I could probably find another. If I had a Volkswagen, I could just cut some of this piece out, cut another window out. I don't really think I can use any of this. It's just been cut up too bad. And I do have a big window here in a Rambler. I'm going to cut up the roof and use it, but I think it's too much trouble to try to do this. Junk Isuzu here. I could probably cut the window out of that, but it's pretty big and dead flat. Project. This is a 69 Roadrunner. I'm gonna have to cut some fender panels, and it's a 4-speed car. I got a lot of junk in it right now, but it's got some rust in it. And I put a few videos of this up, but I got a lot of body work doing it. There's a Mercedes there that has a back window frame. I know that one's been cut up, but that ain't gonna work either. I got me some steel. This is a 1/2 inch. I'll be able to weld that in there on both sides for my window. I got my big piece of plexiglass there that'll fit. I'll put in 2 pieces here. I ordered a stock Volkswagen window trim basically what I have to do is duplicate this section right here for the rubber to fit in it. And I was looking here at this plate that they've got in here. It's kind of a mess. I'm going to cut it out and straighten that up, and then I'll have to put me a lip like this all the way across. Poke myself there. So I just need to continue this lip. I got a pile of stuff from Ace Hardware, $75. But anyway, I think this little 1/2 inch stuff will be good enough to make a lip. It's a little thicker than this, but I think I can get it in. So main thing is to cut that out of there, clean it up, and build me a channel right here, and then I can go on to welding this in. I can use rod to form me a round corner right here on it. It's a mess. Just have to do one little piece at a time. Yeah, the first thing is to cut that big ugly piece of metal out of there and get it straightened out. Pull this out. This was what was in it. Again, 3 or 4 pieces of old bad rusted metal. There's only one piece here that's salvageable. I can cut a sheet here. I need to brace this on the bottom. Probably put a plate here on top. Along in this area here. And I'll use some more of this flat stock I got. Kind of make me a little flat bracket to put that in. And then I'll skin it. It was a mess, and I can't use any of that metal again. It's just rusted too thin to be of any use. I've got some good pieces there I was going to use for the window. I think they're going to be long enough to, yeah, I can use this to skin it. That'll give me some kind of a halfway good patch. Cleaned it up a little more and see what I can do about putting in this bottom piece, bracing this with my flat bar. I got quite a bit of that, about 8 feet, so I can probably do that. Well, I got this this top done here. Put a piece of square in it and a little 1/2 inch piece and another, kind of made a little Z bar in there. So that's good for that one. I'll cut one more of this little 1/2 inch piece, and I'll probably have to cut this back to around here somewhere. Cut it flush, and that'll be able to make a pretty decent lip. This has got a lot of that old ugly weld on it behind it. So I'll just cut that all out. Tack this one together. And I'll be ready for skiing. I mixed up some primer and I washed this. It didn't make a lot of difference, but it did quite a bit. And I'll get this all primered up, and then I can weld my other plates on. It's I guess I could weld the plate first and then primer the whole thing. But I'd like to get all the inside primer that's going to get covered up and all this rust. I'll just primer it first, and I'm going to be welding it here from the top anyway. And then I can prime my little sheet metal pieces and stuff on both sides, you know, so it's up in here. It's not going to rust on top, even though the stuff right next to it's kind of rusty. At least I'll put a good piece of metal in there and weld it. I'm going to try to bring it all the way down to that round bar, all the way up. It would be best if I could do that like that in one piece and weld it in. I don't know if my sheet metal I got is wide enough. And this one I can just weld a piece there. If I have to fold the edge over a little. But this will be good enough and strong enough to go ahead and put my window posts in here and start mocking up the curves and stuff for it. But looks like I had to redo almost everything that the other guy did. I still got to cut all this ugly stuff off of here before the inside panel goes on. Anyway, pressing right along.